Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the topic of ever-changing Earth. I would like to introduce you about the structure of the Earth first. As you can see, there are four main parts and the Earth is almost a cipher. So starting from the outside, you can see the parts which land crust. It is relatively thin and rock. The next one you will see is the mantle, which has the properties of a solid, but can fall very slowly. Thirdly is the outer core that's made from liquid nickel and iron. The last one that I'm going to talk about is the inner core, which made from solid nickel and iron. Following up, I would like to introduce you the thickness theory. Continental draft was a theory that explained how continents shift on position on the Earth's surface. It suggests all the continents were once joined together before breaking up and driving to their current position. By generally speaking, around 200 million years ago, all the continents are merged into one supercontinent that is separating and moving around, which form the current position we can see and we have right now. By moving on, destructive plant margin is the plants move towards one another, and this movement can cause earthquake. On the other hand, constructive plant margin is the plants move apart from one another, which make a new land in the form of shield volcano. And the conservative plant margin is the plants move past each other or side by side moving at different speed. Here is the proportion of the oxygen increase because of the photosynthesis by plants. Ammonia decreased as it reacts with the newly formed oxygen in the atmosphere to form nitrogen and water vapor. The proportion of methane decreased as it reacts with the newly formed oxygen. The last but not least, the reason for carbon dioxide decreased is due to it dissolved in ocean and absorbed by plants for photosynthesis and so on. This chart over here you can see is showing the percentage of the main elements and compounds which are in the air. The respiration and combustion of the process takes in oxygen from the atmosphere and release carbon dioxide, whereas photosynthesis is a process that used to remove carbon dioxide and from the atmosphere and release oxygen. The level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is highly increased year by year. One of the factors is the population, as there are more, which means there are more respiration, and we have just talked about the effect of it in the last slide. The last but not least, by burning fossil fuel will cause a formation of a large number of carbon dioxide and cause acid rain as well. I just mentioned the acid rain, let's talk about it. Acid rain is strongly acidic, and when burning the fossil fuel, there is a formation of sulfur dioxide. And once it dissolves in the rainwater, it will form sulfuric acid. So, what is the effect of it? For example, corrosion of metal structure like bridge. Also, plants get damaged and fish in the river might die. By moving on, there are many consequences of change of atmosphere. First of all, weather. For example, there are more extreme like global warming, flooding, etc. Also, as the temperature keeps on increase, the polar ice shelves are melting, which cause the rise of sea level. In order to prevent it happening, we can encourage ourselves to recycling and reuse different stuff. Also, choose to use public transport. On the other hand, business should lower the rates of use of the fossil fuel as well. So let's talk about some tests. Here is the test of hydrogen. We should put the flame of lighter moving speed in the test tube which have hydrogen, and it will make a squeaky pulse sound. Next I'm going to talk about is the test of oxygen. I put a glowing wooden split in the test tube of oxygen, then it will relight. To end off with my presentation, I would like to talk about the test of carbon dioxide. By bubbling the carbon dioxide through lime water, and it will turn from colorless to cloudy. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.